Welcome back to the Jake Asman Show on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need a mortgage that fits your life? Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Jake Asman.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. You get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. So the New York Giants made a big-time move, a move in which they had to make in regards to their offense and in regards to their franchise quarterback. The Giants signed wide receiver Kenny Golladay to a 4-year, $72 million contract on Saturday. And this was a great move by the New York Giants. And it's not often over the last 5 years, really, since Dave Gettleman's been the team's general manager, that I can sit back and point to great moves. This is one of them, though. This is a move the Giants had to make. They have a quarterback in Daniel Jones, who going into his third year, the Giants still don't know what he is. They believe in him. I take Joe Judge at his word when he says that Daniel's the quarterback. He's the franchise guy. They love what he is as a player. They love what he will be going forward. I believe the Giants when they say that. But the reality is this. Daniel Jones did not have a good second year in the NFL. In fact, if you compare Daniel Jones' year 2 to what he was as a rookie, then it's not even really close as far as the regression goes for Daniel Jones. So the Giants, coming off a 6-win season, need to find out, entering year 3, what they have in their quarterback who threw 11 touchdowns and 10 picks last year in 14 games played. They need to know because they still don't know. Even though they can tell you they do, they really don't. The only way you find out what you have in Daniel Jones is by making sure you eliminate all the, possibilities of, oh, well, he's not playing well because he doesn't have weapons around him. Or he's not playing well because he doesn't have the offensive line around him. Like, you need to eliminate all those factors and now get Daniel Jones the help. So if he plays well, you have your guy. And if he struggles, well, then you know that he's not your guy. Like, you want an answer on the quarterback position if you're the Giants. You don't want to go into year 4 where you don't know what Daniel Jones is. You don't want to be the Jets and Sam Darnold. That's why you signed Kenny Golladay. He was the number 1 receiver available on the market. Yeah, you had to spend a lot on a guy that is coming off an injury. I get that. But you know what? If you're the Giants, you got to be all in on finding out what your quarterback is. We don't know what Daniel Jones is just yet. I like Daniel Jones as a player. I think he has a chance to be good. There was a point last year where I thought, he's not the guy. There's no way. Then he started to play a little better down the stretch, and the injury he suffered really hampered his season. But this is a big year for Daniel Jones. The Giants can't be like the Jets with Sam Darnold, where you don't know after 3 years. That can't happen. And Kenny Golladay is just 27 years old. He's entering his prime. This is a guy to go get. The Giants haven't had this big body, big play wide receiver since Plaxico Burress. Odell Beckham was great with the Giants. Different type of player. Kenny Golladay is a guy that you throw the ball up, he goes and makes a play. That's what the Giants need on this offense. Golladay averages 17 yards per catch. That's the best in the NFL since he entered the league. You're getting a big play target. That's exactly what this offense lacked last season. And you look at the Giants' projected offense, skill position-wise, Golladay slots in as your number 1. You move Sterling Shepard to your number 2. Darius Slayton's your number 3. That's a damn good receiving trio right there. Your tight end spot, you got Evan Ingram. We'll see if he can catch a ball, because last year couldn't catch a cold, yet somehow made the Pro Bowl. Ridiculous. But he's talented. Kyle Rudolph, they signed in free agency. He's a veteran, pass-catching tight end that I think will be good for Daniel Jones. And we'll see on Saquon Barkley coming back from the knee injury. Like, the Giants are putting Daniel Jones in a position to have success, and that's all you can really ask for if you take a guy 6th overall. You don't want a Jet situation with Darnold, where the Jets failed Sam Darnold, and there's many Jet fans that think Sam could still be a great player, and there's many that think he's terrible and you got to move on. The fact that we don't know is the worst part about the Sam Darnold thing. We don't know what Sam is. The Giants need to know one way or another what Daniel Jones is. Because if he stinks next year, you can move on from him. Right? If Daniel Jones is great next year, you can say we got our guy. If Daniel Jones is a year 3 like Josh Allen, you're going to be giddy. You're going to be like, wow, we got our franchise guy. Well, what did the Bills do for Josh Allen entering his 3rd year? They got him Stephon Diggs. So the Giants need to get Daniel Jones, his version of Stephon Diggs. The Giants need to get Daniel Jones, a big play wide receiver that can open things up for everyone else on the team. And that's what Golladay does. He's an elite player. He's been a 1,000-yard wide receiver twice. That's the type of player you got. Did they overpay for him? Sure, but it's free agency. You got to overpay a little bit. You know, if you're going to spend all this money on Leonard Williams and you're not paying Daniel Jones any money yet because he's on his rookie contract, this is the time to go for it if you're the Giants. So I love this move. I believe it's one of the best moves the Giants have made in years. That's the type of player I think Kenny Golladay is. No, he's 27 years old, entering his prime. You add him to an offense now with Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph, and Saquon Barkley coming back from injury. Now you get a chance to see what Daniel Jones is as a player. The Giants can't be done. They still got to beef up that offensive line. They have the draft to do just that. You know, but this is a team that was in every game last year, despite the fact they started, 1-7? Ended up winning 6 games. So now the Giants are in a situation, year 3 of their young quarterback, Joe Judge in year 2. No excuses. You're in a division that is very winnable. Washington football team and Fitz, they're not going to scare you. Dak and the Cowboys, good quarterback. Questionable head coach, bad defense. Eagles look like they're a mess. The division is very winnable for the Giants if Daniel Jones takes a big step in year 3. And just like Josh Allen did for the Bills, and the Bills already had a good defense, Allen became great in year 3. Can Daniel Jones maybe not be Josh Allen in year 3? But can he be above average, top 15 in the league? That's now the expectation after you sign a guy like Kenny Golladay. So I thought that was just a tremendous move by the Giants, a move they had to make. You know, I understand Golladay maybe got into it with Matt Patricia last year, and there was some doubt on that. Matt Patricia is a bumbling fool, though. I'm sorry. You know, if you're going to ask me, Jake, whose side are you on, Matt Patricia or Kenny Golladay? I'm going to take Kenny Golladay. Jake, whose side are you on, Bill O'Brien or DeAndre Hopkins? I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins. That's how I look at that. So Kenny Golladay, I'm not worried about any of the, Matt Patricia stuff. Sorry. Matt Patricia doesn't get the benefit of the doubt when he was as bad of a head coach as we've seen in the league. Probably him and Adam Gase, the two worst over the last couple of years. So the Giants get Kenny Golladay, and now you got to take a big step forward in year 3 with their young quarterback. Got to have a good draft, and we'll see what they end up doing here. But this was a move they had to make. I love this signing for the New York Giants. You know, you look at some of the other moves they could have made at receiver. Allen Robinson, he wasn't available. He got franchise tagged. Juju Smith-Schuster, I don't find him to be a true difference maker. Will Fuller, too big of an injury risk. Kenny Golladay, though, yeah, he might not be, Julio Jones or he might not be DeAndre Hopkins. He doesn't have to be. If he could be the guy that he was in 2018, 2019, Giants got to steal. And the Giants got a guy that could be that big body, big playmaking wide receiver that they just haven't had really since Plaxico Burress. You want to throw Hakeem Nicks at me? I'll give you Hakeem Nicks too, Giant fans. But this was a player they had to get. And now you'll get the opportunity to learn what Daniel Jones is as a quarterback. He's either your guy or he's not, but at least you'll know. You're not going to be the Jets and Sam Darnold 3 years in, you still don't know. You believe you have the head coach? Now you have the skill positions to surround Daniel Jones with? Let's go see a monumental step forward for the Giants' young quarterback. That's now the expectation for the Giants and Daniel Jones in year 3. Coming up next, let's talk about Syracuse. Somehow, some way, they're back in the Sweet 16. Stephen Bailey, he joins us next here on the Jake Asman Show.